we're on. And that was terrible intro, and yes, I'm your lovely host, and 3, 2. I just listened to my own theme song now. Intro. Anyways, yes, my name's Isaiah. You're in the zone with me, and I got another movie review. Again, I kind of delayed this and pretty much put it on the back shelf because I had no interest at all to watch the movie, and I got other things to do in my life. But that's a different story. I don't get into right now. Yeah, I messed up the whole intro myself. But anyways, yes, the much awaited my review of all reviews, because mine is pretty much proven. It's pretty much it's pretty much the cream of the crop, the final say so. Anyways, so Deadpool, which with Ryan Reynolds playing as Deadpool, which is Sam Wilson. Yes, Sam Wilson, that's his real name, but his alter ego is pretty much Deadpool. But another long story behind that too. But anyways, I want to say this film is. It's pretty much the best X-Men film to date. It's pretty much better than the first X-Men movie, second, third, Wolverine's Origins, Days Futures Past bullshit. I said it too because I don't. It's an okay movie, but awful comic movie. It really was. And it's not better than First Class. It's pretty much tied with First Class, but that's a very long story too. Anyways, I know I'm rambling so much on, but anyways, on to the point of all. Yes, Deadpool. What else can we not say? It's already been said beforehand. Is it funny? Yeah, it is at times. Is Ryan Reynolds amazing in this film? Of course. It's supporting characters like say Colossus and my God, that one other mutant. I can't remember her name. Give me a moment. What was her stupid name? What in the world? What can we come up with some more easier name? Not this long bullet BS name. All right. Okay, Google.
Sonic Teenage.
Sonic Teenager. Just call her Warhead. Put it like that. Teenager Warhead. Anyways, they're not bad. They're really interesting. They really make chemistry between Deadpool. They really are good characters. And Sam Wilson's friend, who is also named is I cannot name it because I went back and forth between Wikipedia pages. Okie dokie, and it was Peter Rapson, or no, that's Colossus' name. Never mind. I just had his name too. Where the hell is it? No. Yes, T.J. Miller, who plays Weasel. Yes, that is Wade. Oh my goodness, I can't talk today. Wade Wilson's best friend and Contradon and Properdon. Pretty much his gun handler too, because his friend runs a bar with a lot of mercenaries and gun toners and all that good stuff. And it make a lot of wagers who can die in their club. And the bets always go which person who will die in the club itself, but it always turns out to be pretty much it's not gonna happen because everyone's just lightweight hitters. But it's a different story too, because yeah, this is really making no damn sense. So fucking, I don't do no retake, so I'm gonna do like this. Anyway, so the supporting characters like Colossus, Warhead, Weasel, and Sam Wilson's girlfriend Vanessa Carcel, who was also named as in the comic version as Copycat. Yeah, she's an X-Men character and she has powers, and it's another long story we're not getting into because it sounds really, 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 really stupid. It does. Yeah. Anyways, going back to the murder with the mouth, Wade Wilson had cancer, which we all saw that beforehand. He had cancer, which was really much a crusher to his whole point, because the opening intro of Deadpool is all action packed. It pretty much starts off with it starts out you man, my God, I can't take today. It starts out the gate running like crazy with chicken heads cut off. And pretty much it's a really good opening to the movie, and pretty much just gives you the backstory, why he's doing X, Y, and Z, and it's all good. It really is. I'll get to the problems at the end of this review, close to the end of the review, but I'm gonna talk about the good parts. The special effects for Deadpool's healing factor and killing folks and just CGI effects are just phenomenal. They are amazing. Pretty much 10 times better than Future's class of when Magneto transformed the Sentinels to pretty much take down humans, or it's some bullshit like that. I don't remember that bullshit. But anyways, my train of thought. Oh yes, it was still better special effects in Future Days of Past. Man, I can't make anything more simpler. Anyways, so the special effects are amazing. The writing is really strong, surprisingly too, between Deadpool, Colossus, Warhead, Vanessa, and Weasel, and also my favorite lady of all, Lisa Gaga. Oh my lord, I'm gonna say this woman's name wrong. Okay, Google, help me out again.
Leslie Gems.
Leslie Gans portrays a blind owl, which is pretty much short word for blind Alfred. I know, right? This is a blind roommate. It's his blind roommate, who's an elderly black lady. But who cares? She was funny too. She was really interesting in this movie. She didn't get that much screen time, but it was okay. And there was also another character named Bob. Yeah, it's another long story too. Bob, who was pretty much he portrayed not Bob. I mean, no, he didn't portray. He pretty much he works for Hydra, but he got me saying the movie because of the film rights to Marvel Studios and everything else under the sun. Blah 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 and blah 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 blah. Anywho, I lost train of thought again. Okay, so Deadpool movie starts off really strong. The special effects are amazing, and you see firsthand how cool Colossus is. He's pretty much self-righteous person of the X-Men crew, which he is from the comic books as well. So I'm kind of cool that they only have Warhead and Colossus in the movie than pretty much everyone else in the fucking film. I'm okay with that, really, because most of the other characters in the X-Men films I didn't care for that much. Let's go on for Wolverine 2. Wolverine's become very, very stale for me, and I don't really care for the rest. And yes, Deadpool made jokes about that. A lot of fourth wall jokes. And they were funny too. There were a lot of funny fourth wall jokes. But I can't put more like this. When you start bringing up movie references like Green Lantern, Blade, some other more comic book movies, it becomes a little bit more tiresome, you know? And this is where a movie falls in that trap. Yes, it's a rated R film, but it falls into the rated R film's traps. I'm not saying it should be something different or new, because it's not. It's nothing new, nothing. If you haven't seen it before, folks, then you must have not seen The Crow. Yes, I've seen The Crow, the first one, and yes, it's based on a comic book. And yes, I do love The Crow, with Brandon Lee's last movie in it. Sadly. Anywho, and this is where the movie falls pretty much a little bit apart from me. Unlike The Crow, which pretty much, it was very dark by all means, but it still had charm. It still had this and that. You still remember all the words they were saying. You still remember all the villains. You remember all the heroes, the characters, everything else behind it. Why the heroes must do this backstory. Deadpool's backstory, no fact it was good, it was pretty much, well, in like the lighter term, generic. Again, I'm not saying generic in a bad way, but generic in a pretty much in a film goer standpoint. And when people say, "Oh, it's a game changer to superhero films," it's not. Okay, it's just not. If you haven't seen The Crow, if you haven't seen Watchmen, which I don't recommend, if you haven't seen V for Vendetta, which I really recommend you guys seeing, then you don't know rated R comic book films at all. You just don't. If you haven't seen Spawn either, then that's pretty much your problem too. I mean, I like Spawn the film, but that's another thing I don't like going into because that sounds really stupid. But anyways, no effect is very strong. It's so much things you pretty much get pulled off on. No, in fact, the film is kind of short in a good way. I mean, thank you God. It doesn't need to be like 2 hours long or 1.5 hour long. It does not need to be. It's pretty much a very 138 minutes. Let me look because I could be wrong about that time. It's about where's it? Okay. Oh, 108 minutes. So it's not that bad. 108 minutes is not that bad. But if people are portraying it so much more, they don't know what they want. And I'll get to that very much later on too. But anyways, since it's pretty much this movie going to the rated R trap, it's like, yes, we get it. You got sex, you got blood and guts, you got cursing, you get that. Again, trust me, I do. But can you be a little more witty? Can you be a little bit more like strong writing? Because Ryan Reynolds is not the problem. He pretty much is the golden arc of this movie. So is Colossus, or it's Warhead, and Vanessa and Weasel, and the Blind Owl really. I can't really say AI, blind AI, but anyways. But the problem sets in really quickly when you have the villain. He was pretty much, who cares? His name is Ajax, but his real name is Francis. I know, it was pretty much a locking stock. It's like, dude, you're not threatening. You're pretty much one of those blame brain villains I've seen beforehand, and he was. There was nothing new, wasn't really nothing creative about him, and pretty much you didn't care what his plans was because he had no plans. And so it was like, pretty much, we gotta kill Wade Wilson. Okay, that's it. Yes, it is. That's pretty much about it. Okay. And then you got so many other cool characters, like I said, like the blind AI. I wish you could show more screen time of her because she was funny. I wish you saw more of her, or Weasel, or more Vanessa. Those characters who don't have powers, they become more interesting as the movie goes on. But you got pretty much get introduced to pretty much lame brain and boring villains that pretty much are there to be killed by Deadpool. It's like, oh, who are they again? Oh, okay. Don't care. Don't care. And pretty much the character, the non-credited characters who talk to Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson, like when he got pretty much he had started his experiment of becoming Deadpool or pretty much having these healing factor abilities. They don't get that much screen time. Like, why does he know? Why does he feel sympathetic for this character, for this person, why he shouldn't? And the fight scenes are really cool. The fight scenes are really cool between Deadpool and Ajax. They're pretty much badass. But again, there's nothing you haven't seen beforehand. Well, I mean, you haven't seen beforehand. Let me put another good example. Okay, Winter Soldier. So we had Captain America versus Winter Soldier, who was Bucky Barnes. And those fight scenes were very creative because those characters use all types of elements within their own design. Captain America used the shield, while Winter Soldier used his guns that he had on him. And that fight was pretty much interesting. It was like watching a really good kung fu movie or rewatching The Raid all over again. That's really much good. That's really good action scenes right there, where he has on point. It's not so much shaky cam nonsense, but it's pretty much on point. What's going on, tells an interesting story, and it was the last fight scene too. Ajax and Deadpool fight scene was pretty much you already know who's gonna win regardless because Deadpool can't really die, and they addressed that too a billion times. Like we get it, he can't die, but if Deadpool's not doing the jokes, then the movie becomes very boring down the road. If Deadpool, he's in it like 99% of the time, and I get it, he has to be. But if you take that away, the movie is just boring, which it is. I mean, not to be cruel or anything, but the movie just stems on because of Ryan Reynolds' chemistry of being Deadpool, and that's it. That's pretty much the whole card behind it, really. And I see Fox I see Fox pretty much taking this type of Deadpool film and crashing it into the ground. Yeah, I had no faith in their movies that much. Well, then I stopped watching the movies. Deadpool was pretty much one of those movies I had to see because my friends won't shut up about it. But all the other films, I'm never gonna watch a Fox anymore. I'm not gonna watch the new X-Men film because I have no interest in X-Men films at all, and that's where the movie comes from as well. Since it's in the X-Men universe, X-Men universe, it was going to pretty much fall in the same trap as the X-Men. No fact, people love this new one. It's going to be another bad one, and another bad one, and another bad one. What I mean by it is the first X-Men film, it was awesome. The second one was trash. The third one was just garbage beyond belief. And then there was Origins. Moving on from there was X-Men's First Class, which was amazing. And then we got Days of Future Past. Yeah. And people thought that was better. But then people had no standards in films anymore. I forgot that too. They have no standards in films. They don't. They don't. And so when I look at Deadpool, it is a better X-Men film. I would rather watch this over Days of Future Past, X-Men 1, 2, and 3, around the Wolverine's Origins, and also the upcoming film, The Apocalypse. Why? Well, number one, folks, the film doesn't take itself too seriously. It's pretty much meant to be funny and stupid, which is good. And pretty much it goes on a very much a flawless effort, making itself like a comic movie trying to be different, but it's not. Like in the Deadpool video game, it's nothing new. It's pretty much the same thing, hack and slash type of gameplay, and with awful gameplay mechanics. When I mean gameplay mechanics, I mean just the camera. The camera was shitty, but overall, it was still an enjoyable game. Just like this movie is. It's an enjoyable film. It's pretty much why people getting so overly excited, like, oh my god, oh my god. Well, dude, relax. I know you like the film and all, but don't start claiming like, oh, why can't movies be like this? Like, no. And there's a reason why. Because Deadpool, he's meant to be rated R because he has a filthy mouth. He cuts up people. He blows people's heads off, and he pretty much doesn't give a fuck most times. That's his character. That's his nature. People cannot copy his nature. Wade Wilson is a merc with the mouth, which is true. He doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. I love how the characters say, "Will you shut the fuck up?" But again, that just stems off from Ryan Reynolds' awesome acting as Deadpool. Which again, who else can play Deadpool besides him? Right. And so stemming off from that, I don't see a movie without Ryan Reynolds playing as Deadpool in an X-Men film. And you're having an X-Men film without Ryan Reynolds is like, Robert Downey Jr. without the Avengers. Like, where's Robert Downey Jr.? Where's he at? Where's he at? And so what I'm trying to say is that, knowing the fact I did like Deadpool, I did enjoy it, I'm not going to say it's one of the best films of 2016, because it's not. It's for other reasons too, but I'm not trying the movie's bad. It's not bad. It's really good film. It's very fun. It's very vibrant. It's pretty much keeps you laughing and also keeps you cheering for the main character, which is Deadpool. And you pretty much will forget the villains. Like, oh, Ajax, right. Was I supposed to care about him? No, not really. Good, because I didn't give a fuck. And so the supporting characters and Deadpool make the movie pretty much a worthwhile to watch. While the main villains are just boring. They are just boring. It's like, who cares? Ajax is boring. He's not a credible villain. He's just a pansy villain who gets his ass kicked by Deadpool. It's like, dude, you're so stupid. Why can't you just, I don't know, take Wade Wilson and use his powers for your own use, and then blah 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 blah. But then when the movie cuts away to the villains, you don't really care much. It's like, oh, I don't care. I mean, why can't we get more screen time with Colossus and Warhead? No, in fact, they were the only two X-Men that could show, and Deadpool made a really smart comment about that, but I can't tell you because I want you guys to actually listen to what he says, because it's very funny. But overall, this film runs up as just an average action film. Which, again, it's not that bad. It really isn't. It's okay to be average at times. You just can't have a lot of people pretending that, oh, there's something new, something different. It's not. It's just not. Like I said, people don't know movies. People don't have no good standards on what they want, because they don't. Or again, let me break away for a brief second to explain what I mean. Because people think like, oh, it should be radar. It should be radar. Oh, films like Deadpool should be rated R. Well, yes, films like Deadpool should be rated R. Batman should get a rated R film, which I do support. But you can't make everything rated R. It's going to be really bad taste, and just people just pretty much put it in blood, guts, and gore and sex to cover up a piss poor story, which I have seen multiple genres do a lot. And it becomes very boring and just pretty much tasteless. It's like, okay, I know you have no real story at all, but please just try a little. But they don't. None of them do try. Like all the Jason films, you know, it has no story. You're just waiting for the blood and guts. This is where it comes to Deadpool. You don't care about the story. You just pretty much care about Deadpool killing folks up and having good fun, which it is. It's just good fun. You should have fun with this film. Don't think of anything else behind it. Don't think it's like the primitive better than sliced bread. It's not. And you already know Fox is going to use this type of film and run it to the ground. Very likely too. Look at Fantastic Four and the X-Men series, because they're going to run out of ideas very fast. Because how many times can you put out the X-Men movies? Like, there's the X-Force, then you got the X Factor, and you got this and that. It's like everything starts with the letter X. It's annoying too. Very annoying. But without X-Men being part of the MCU, they're going to become just irrelevant. Which they are irrelevant, really. The only thing that is relevant is Deadpool. You know what I mean? Because when I say to my friends, I say WB only cares about Batman. Is that really false? No, because we see a lot of Batman comics. We see more Batman anime shows, Batman games, Batman Legos. The list goes on and on and on. Because it's a marketable standpoint for WB. So when Deadpool was a big hit for Fox, it was like, ooh, we're gonna make some more money. We're gonna put everything on rated R on everything, and even Wolverine. I was like, okay, Wolverine's gonna be rated R. Okay, can it be funny and can it have more like a better story than the Wolverine? Because that story was god awful. It really was. The Silver Samurai story. Granted, it's not one of my favorite stories within Wolverine, but it still should have been better. You know, a little bit more better. But again, it's still better Origins, but that's a different story too. That's a different story. Anyway, so I can safely say this film was just average, awesome film, and that's cool. You can pretty much get some chucks and luck. You can get some laughs and really awesome time with it. But if you're not watching with friends, you're not gonna watch it again by yourself. I watched it myself. I felt no need to watch it again because like, oh. When I watch like say Winter Soldier or Age of Ultron, I can watch that shit multiple times because there's so much more to get into it, like the characters, the fighting, the enemies, and so on and so forth. Yes, I do like my films as they are, folks. And so when people say, "Oh, you like that key cartoon Marvel shit?" It's like, yeah, so I don't care if you guys like emo Superman. I can still joke about emo Superman. You guys can still joke about Marvel. It's not gonna hurt me because those companies don't hate each other. Fox and Marvel do hate each other. That's a fact. But DC and Marvel do not hate each other. Hell, WB doesn't hate Marvel. Marvel doesn't hate WB. They're in just competition with each other. That's all. They have a friendly, healthy competition with one another that helps one another a lot. When it comes to Fox and Marvel, they do hate each other beyond belief. But that's a different story too. I don't think get into. And people who like this film should like it, but also don't stretch your imagination too far. Say, oh, why can't Marvel be like this? Why can't Marvel have films like Deadpool? Well, it doesn't work for them. It works on pretty much like Netflix because they got more time to express what the character is going through. But when you say like a movie, like say, why can't Captain America be rated R? You say, no, he cannot. Iron Man cannot be rated R. Thor cannot be rated R. And Hulk can't be rated R. Do you know why? Well, number one, because rated R films are pretty much classified as pretty much like this and that. And Avengers was classified rated R one time because Wade Wilson, because of, oh wow, oh my god, oh my god, Wilson, was Slade, Coulson, yes, Coulson. When he died, he saw a lot of blood splatter, and it was rated R because of that bullshit. But that's a long story too. But to make a long story short, Marvel, when it goes dark, or when Disney puts their hands in the pot, say, "Oh, let's make this dark." Well, guess what happens? No one likes it. No one remembers it either, because look at Thor, the second film, the Dark World nonsense. Does anyone remember that really? Besides Loki, no one remembers that film. How about Iron Man 3? Besides the Mandarin bullshit, which I didn't hate, I just pretty much just hated what it was. Yeah, those films are not really talked about. Or Iron Man 2. Which is still terrible compared to Iron Man 3. Yeah, that's what I thought. No one cares about Iron Man 2 or Thor the Dark World. But when Captain America, it's pretty much a tricky part too. Captain America started off with humor, funny as hell humor, and then pretty much serious moments, funny, serious, and funny. This is what Deadpool has. Funny, kind of serious, and funny. You know? That's fine. That's 100% great. It fit my style of movies. If it's funny and serious at the same time, but a good balance, I'm cool with that. And so that's why I don't really watch or don't care too much of DC comics or WB movies because when it comes to comic books, it's just too damn dark. I can't really enjoy it. V for Vendetta was dark because the world they were living in and a corrupt government, which I can pretty much relate to and pretty much understand what they're going through. Not really understand like pretty much I've been through that time moment. No, I can understand what they're saying because I understand because I see it in their world. I see like okay, it makes perfect sense now. But when it comes to the Watchmen, it was pretty much gonna fuck up regardless because the book is long. And again, I'm not trying to pretty much show the blame out. It's like, oh, you should be like the book. Like, no. You could have been like better than the book, but if you didn't change the ending, because the ending was supposed to be a fake alien, then Dr. Manhattan, because that was bullshit. It lost its message. The message pretty much was that human beings are pretty much destined to kill each other, but life never ends. In life, nothing ever ends in life, and so that's pretty much what they missed too. When Dr. Manhattan said that speech towards Ozymandias before he left the Earth forever, it pretty much was lost in translation. People don't understand like what the hell what's all this about. No one understands the true concept of it, you know. And that's the whole point behind the Watchmen film. When you lose that type of message within the comic book, you fucked up somewhere because of slow mos and everything else. And again, I'm going off track here. I'm sorry about that. Not really. And so when Deadpool, it was never off track really. It pretty much stayed to the point of a normal comic movie, which it is. It was action. It was funny. So a lot of sex. Okay, no, more than average comic film, but overall, it's still a comic film because Wade Wilson killed the bad guy. In meaning words, he saved the day, in a way, because he didn't really kill nobody. He didn't kill no innocent people. He didn't really destroy government buildings. He didn't really give drugs to children or anything like that. He's a hero in my book because he's just killing the bad guys. That's it. If you say like a person like Dexter, yes, he's an anti-hero because he does kill people on his own. He's not really a guilty person. He's just a bloodthirsty person. Deadpool, he can be bloodthirsty, but he had a real righteous goal. Getting his girl back from bad guys. That's it. Slice and dice. Yep. Anyway, so saying all that, this film is pretty much, it's more than a Sigh Okay, because it's pretty much a very low badass sun rating because Ryan Reynolds, Colossus, Warhead, Vanessa, and Weasel were pretty much the highlights of the movie because they were really, really good. And the special effects was really good. and the action was really fun to watch. That's about it, really. Why I pretty much can't make it higher is because, well, the writing was a mess for the villains because the villains were boring to watch. The main story is like it was average in a good way and bad way, and I saw nothing special with this film I have not seen beforehand. I've seen a lot more comic films who have a darker tone. Again, The Crow. The Crow. Don't just ignore the Watchmen bullshit. Go to The Crow. It's a better movie, hands down. The first movie that is. Better movie. Anyway, so since I pretty much know that type of movies, and pretty much I can pretty much dictate pretty much. I wasn't going to the movie saying I would be wild behind it. I was pretty much going to the movie to say, how much fun can I get out of this film? And I got a lot of fun out of it. I had a lot of fun watching it. I was going to skip over the bad guys parts because I don't care about the bad guys parts. And I can maybe skip over some of Wade Wilson's backstory because I didn't care for that either. But overall, it's still an enjoyable film. It should be watched with friends and not by yourself because you'd be bored yourself. But again, it's still a fun film. It gets a very low bad sun rating, but again, it's still a good film. 10 times better than other films I have reviewed down the road, like say, yes, Fury Roads. It's a better movie than Fury Roads. I said it. Why? Because Fury Road's story was so damn complex. They didn't really fill in a whole bunch of detail, like character details. Like, oh, here they are. Who are they? I don't give a fuck. Just throw them in there. That's stupid. That's how you make movies. That's just stupid. If you get someone some new universe, you gotta tell who these characters are. Well, Deadpool does a very good job of telling who these characters was, and pretty much those characters are very unique. They all have their own identity, which is true. Fury Roads had none. It was complete bullshit, but that's a different story I'll get to later. Yes, I get that review. I get that rating a badass sun rating, but it was very low too compared to Deadpool's badass sun rating. Because it's a little bit low, I still enjoyed it. It was still fun. It was still everything else I pretty much expected the movie to be. Fun, stupid, and everything else involved. The ending was kind of lackadaisical. It was not really strong, but again, it's a Deadpool movie. Just like the video game, it does nothing new, but you still enjoy it overall. So the badass sun rating is still, it's a still good fit for it because I wasn't bored with it. It was just pretty much a lot of parts I didn't care for. The villains, the main story arc, and the story arc. All right, that's been my show, folks. I'm gonna get the hell out of here and play some more Divinity or Fallout 4 because I'm a bored individual, or I might get Fallout 4 on PC. Then again, I am not gonna pay $60 for that season pass bullshit. No, I already did it for PS4. That ain't gonna happen for a PC. Nope. I would actually put my brain for that. Anyways, folks, that's been my show. You're getting out of here. You're leaving the zone because I've been awesome. And as always do be back and also come back because I'll be back. Lock the little word for me because I'll be back because I just screwed that up anyway. So, anyways, bye-bye.